Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are going to be continuing the file narration series, plus the characters' voice lines for the various operators in Arknights. And in this little countdown sort of mini-series inside of the regular series that I'm doing for the files on the channel, we are featuring characters who are both connected and important to just the overall plot that we have been introduced so far through Undertides at first. But we have started with Whisper Rain, a Aegirian Seaborn hybrid. Then we went to another Aegirian Seaborn hybrid in the form of Mizuki, and now we are at Andreana. And no, she's not a Aegirian Seaborn hybrid like the other two, but how many of you know that she is an Abyssal Hunter? Actually, better question is, how many of you know that she actually exists? That's a better question. I have not seen anything about this character in a ridiculously long time. But that doesn't put away from the fact that design-wise, this is probably one of my favorite characters. And what do I mean by that? Well, I love everything about this drip, including this not sniper rifle. Why am I saying not sniper rifle, you might ask? We'll get into that. But yeah, everything about this design is freaking amazing. Like I said in, I think in Whisper Rain's video, it was darkish blue, purplish, and black and white. Yes, thank you. Give me more. And especially this one. This is probably max ultra drip, and I love it. Especially because that carry case for her weapon is essentially, I think, doubling as a shield as well, which is quite interesting. But let's get into her as a unit, considering this is one of those units I have actually used quite a lot, and I do have only one negative that I can point out. And for you guys who are already maybe familiar with her as a unit, will probably know what I'm gonna say in a bit. But first off, as a Deadeye single target, single shot unit, pretty high range as it should be, immensely high attack as it should be. Not the highest attack. I think she gets beaten by a couple of others, but she does gain a very high boost from her skills. In other places, her traits, for example, make it so that she's gonna prioritize the lowest defense units within her range first, and if you have her module unlocked, it will boost her attack by another 15% flat, or rather up to 15% flat, the further the target is away from her. So basically, the outer edges of her range, or I think it's might be just this tile here, is gonna be the 15%, the rest are gonna be slightly less, but I might be wrong. Someone probably knows the calculations for this way better. But in other places, yes, she's an Abyssal Hunter, and she, or rather, we're gonna go over that, she technically is and isn't an Abyssal Hunter, but she does give other Abyssal Hunter units in the team plus 12 attack speed. So she does synergize with the rest of the team, if they are Abyssal Hunters. And she doesn't have to be deployed, she just needs to be part of the squad to give them a bonus. Furthermore, I will not in this video cover the short story that comes with the module. That I have already done on the channel. So it will be both linked in the description of the video if you want to have a listen to that one, and it will be on screen at the end of the video. But furthermore, her skills. Now here comes the thing that kinda miffs me about her. First off, first skill, basic 60% up on rank 7, nothing else to add there. Her second skill, well, very nice 190% attack up, 30-second lasting, great. And the attacks slow enemies on hit by 30% for 4 seconds. The big negative of this is that if the target is under 50% health, she will not engage. Now, she does have a high attack, and this is basically tripling her attack. So, you know, she could technically one-shot anything, especially if it's just teetering on the edge of her range. But then again, if she doesn't finish it off, so can someone else that is blocking the lane where the enemy unit is going through. But still, it can really screw you over if you don't have a sniper unit cover a lane together with her, because if that thing is running, and this is what screwed me over so many times in a couple of places, if you don't have someone cover for her and she's shooting drones and she doesn't kill the drones and they're literally left on a sliver of health, and you have no one in that lane killing those drones while this skill is running, well, tough luck. Those are just gonna zoom through, sadly. But overall, huge attack boost, lasts quite a nice amount of time, doesn't cost a lot of energy, and can pretty much one-shot enemies. And if I am remembering this correctly, this slow is not counted as a debuff. She just slows whatever she shoots by 30%. Meaning that enemies who are resistant to stuff like the actual debuff of slowing down your target cannot resist this, if I'm right. I hope someone can deny or correct that, because if I'm reading correctly into that, that should not be stacking together with the actual debuff. But yeah, let's go into her file, shall we? And then I'm gonna talk about the fact if it's for people for whom it might not be fully clear why this character is and isn't an Abyssal Hunter, and how is an Iberian an Abyssal Hunter? She is Igerian, but she is from Iberia. We'll get into that. So, basic info. Codename Andreana, gender female, combat experience none, place of birth Iberia, date of birth November 16th, race eager, height 166 centimeters, infection status, medical tests have confirmed that no infection is present. Physical exam, physical strength, standard, mobility excellent, physical resilience excellent, tactical acumen standard, combat skill excellent, Originium arts assimilation flawed. Now, here's the interesting part. I want to point this out. First off, like Mizuki yesterday, Originium arts assimilation is flawed, which is a staple for these. That's number one. Number two, despite her Originium arts assimilation being flawed, she still wields something that looks like a sniper rifle, right? We'll get into that. I'll just point out right now that technically every gun besides, I think, one person, every gun that you've seen so far, besides one person, in this game's universe is technically a staff weapon. If you do not have arts, any kinds of arts capabilities, you will not be able to use the guns, because the guns work with Originium. And yeah. That's why there's a lot of swords, there's a lot of staves, a lot of spears, a lot of crossbows and bows. But guns are rare, and Lateranos are the majority of the Lateranos are the ones who wield guns. The only other portion that wields guns is people from, I think it's from Blacksteel, who have like guns, but they are very secretive about them. But let's continue with the file. Profile. Born in Iberia, Andreana serves as a bodyguard to Operator Incandescence. The two joined Rhode Island together. She came with a strong foundation as a sniper. After receiving professional training, she has served well as a sniper operator. Also, quick, man, I have to add continuously here, right? Quick addition here. Operator Incandescence, no clue. I tried to look this character up a while ago, even just now before recording this video, just in case if this person did actually show up at any given point. Apparently, no. Apparently this person has not yet shown up, and I sincerely hope that in the future Andreana is gonna get a operator record where incandescence actually pops up, or just gonna be present for some side story where we're gonna learn who incandescence is, because apparently this person appears to be a operator on this on this vessel. Who they are? No idea. Anyway, clinical analysis. Imaging tests revealed clear normal outlines of the internal organs and no abnormal shadows have been detected. Originium granules have not been detected in the circulatory system and there is no sign of infection. At this time, this operator is believed to be uninfected. Cell originium assimilation 0%. Operator Andreana has no signs of originium infection. Blood originium crystal density 0.12% units per liter. Operator Andreana rarely comes into contact with originium. Archive file number 1. A laid-back A laid-back Iberian. She tends to be slow to speak and shows little of her face. When Andreana first came to Rhode Island, she was mistaken for the quiet, uncommunicative type, but after getting to know her and seeing how caring this great listener is, that impression quickly collapsed. Archive file number 2. While Andreana speaks often of Iberia, she and Incandescence came to us through a branch office in Rimbilliton. Of course, this is to be expected considering Rhode Island does not and cannot have an office in Iberia. In fact, there's only one kind of Iberian we find outside Iberia, as far as we know. The ones who decide to leave. Incandescence, Andreana and their respective families left Iberia together to settle in Rimbilliton. The two submitted their resumes to Rhode Island not long after. As for why they brought their families, Andreana appears troubled with the question. She insisted on learning to shoot despite her family's objections. That troubled their relationship and she ran away from home, where she met Incandescence. But in the end, family ties are tough to break. The two families ultimately made contact and agreed to leave Iberia as a group. Archive file number 3. Andreana's hobbies certainly draw the eye, particularly the gun she is never seen without. When she first joined Rhode Island, her weapon perplexed many of our operators who were familiar with guns. Questions such as, "She's a Lateranan who looks like an Iberian? Did she rob a Lateranan? Such a badass. Iberians can use guns too?" swirled around endlessly. After all, Blacksteel's guns are assumed to be some kind of corporate secret, but a non-Laterano freelance mercenary strutting around with a huge gun gets people talking. Of course, everything becomes clear once you see her shoot an ink ball out of that thing. Apparently, it's a modified crossbow made to look like a gun, because Andreana is a committed firearms enthusiast. According to her, Laterano culture has had a strong influence on the Iberians, who often display an affection for it. After seeing one of the statues in church as a child, Andreana fell in love with the weapons and devoted herself to mechanically engineering in hopes of making a crossbow in the style of a gun, since she lacks the affinity for Originium arts necessary to use a real one herself. But there is a point here worth examining, and one Andreana herself did not realize. She mentioned that she was dragged into court over the weapon several times, only to be chastised when it became clear it was not a real gun. That seems reasonable, but with the limited information we have, the Iberian court should be very powerful. As for such an organization to grab her several times for something known to be harmless the first time, indicates that they may have been using it as a pretense to find something else. However, since we lack reliable intelligence about the internal politics of a country closed so long to outsiders, we are not able to form any concrete judgments about the situation. and since, at least according to Andreana herself, she has not been harmed or unnecessarily interrogated, we leave the matter to speculation. Archive file number 4, Classified Log. It was clear that while Kalsid had a detailed knowledge of both Skadi and Spectre, and even seemed equally familiar with Andreana, the rest of the medical department staff, including Warfarin, knew little about them. And just like with the others, Kalsid determined that Andreana's presence at Rhode Island would be adverse, or at least that the benefits of them joining us would outweigh the potential harm. Otherwise, they would have been found inadmissible. As for me, I don't know what the story is. Kalsid actually said it would be okay to tell me, but I refused. Knowing too much can get you in trouble. I leave this one to Kalsid. What I took from her is that the difference between Andreana on one side and Spectre and Skadi on the other is something like that between a drop of ink into clear water and a proper inkwell. The drop of ink is itself an infringement on the dignity of life, to the point that Kalsid expressed clear disdain for it. There are those who have reached their hands into places they do not belong, those for whom this stupidity is very much in character. Signed by Redacted. Promotion file. Regarding Andreana's strange physical condition upon encountering operators Skadi and Spectre, as well as the similar arts deficiency she expresses, Medical has performed several physical examinations using different methods and approaches. The results showed no new information. We were only able to conclude, once again, that she is a lot stronger overall than the average person. To use Dr. Warfarin's phrasing, what the hell, at this level we can't compare her to Skadi's physique at all. While there is some ambiguity in that statement, it is true that when compared to Skadi, Andreana's physical prowess could well be explained by better physical development. There are always those who are naturally strong. Let's just say that making her a sniper operator may be a bit beneath her, but Rhode Island won't interfere with her personal choice. All in all, after confirming no anomalies in her physical condition, the matter has been closed. But to be on the safe side, Medical still recommends Andreana receive regular checkups. So yeah, combining this, all this plus what we're about to hear in the voice file, plus a bit of her module side story. Yeah, she is definitely something akin to an Abyss Hunter. She definitely reacts to other Abyss Hunters. There is a natural draw to the other ones, like Abyss Hunters apparently do have naturally. But she is still Iberian. She was born in Iberia. And I believe the overall consensus about her is that she is an Iberian's take on a Abyssal Hunter. Because yes, she is Igerian. Just she is born and raised in Iberia itself. So apparently Iberians did some mumbo jumbo and tried to create their own Abyssal Hunters, but just as this sentence up here states, comparing the power levels between an actual Abyss Hunter and this, sadly, what appears to be a failed version of an Abyssal Hunter is like comparing a drop of ink in water and an entire inkwell. So yeah, sadly for her, she didn't make the cut. Or better for her? Maybe better for her considering what happens to actual Abyss Hunters over time. But that's hopefully this character gets an operator record in the future at some point. I would love to see more about her and what is her background, even just to see who and what the hell and how incandescence? But yeah, let's go into the voice files, shall we? Which means I'm gonna shut up now and you guys get to listen, and I'll see you at the end of this.
君がモニカみたいに 厄介な人じゃないことを願うよ、ドクター。モニカのセンスはかなり変わってる。例えば自分のコードネームをつけるときなんか、他の候補はワイズマンとかベーカリーとか変な名前ばっかだったし、今のインキャンデセンスはまだまともな方かな。あのスカジとスペクターっていう同族の仲間。彼女たちを見た時にまるで、なんて説明したらいいか、小説でよく言う一目惚れって感じ。いや、まさかね。だとしたらもうちょっとしっかりおめかしした方がいいかな。正直最初はロドスに来ることに何の興味もなかった。君たちがスカウトしたのはモニカで、私はただそのボディーガードってだけだったし。でもモニカがいなくなると失業する身だし、仕事を探すのも面倒だったから、運試しにってついてきたんだ。モニカとはイベリアで一緒に暮らしてた。生活リズムがめちゃくちゃで、落ち着きもないあいつの世話は本当に面倒だったよ。でもしょうがない。私は家族と仲が悪かったから他に行けるところもなくて、あいつが私を引き取ってくれたようなもんだから。この武器の見た目のせいで昔裁判所に目をつけられてさ、それで分解して構造を見られたらこっぴどく怒られたよ。自分でも誤解を招くのは分かってたけど、別に構わなかったね。何回かそんなことがあったうちに向こうも諦めて、これで他人を脅さなきゃいいって言ってた。ドクター、ロドスはオペレーターの自由交流は認めてるよね。あのラテラーノ人たちと友達になりたくてさ。小さい頃からラテラーノの銃が大好きで、自分でこのモデルガンも作ったくらいだから。そういえば母さんが、私が小さい頃なんかに巻き込まれたとか言ってたな。でも小さすぎて今じゃ何にも覚えてないし、母さんも教えたくないみたいだった。まあ今ちゃんと生きてるんだから大したことなかったってことでしょ。ドクター、時々君のことを本当にすごいなって思うよ。私はモニカ一人相手にするだけでも大変なのに、君はあれだけのオペレーターに気を配らなきゃいけないなんて。とにかく何か困ることがあったら私を呼んで。私にお世話の心得があるのはよく知ってるでしょ。生活リズムがめちゃくちゃなところはモニカにそっくりだな。はあ。で、ブランケット。前はモニカ、いや今はインキャンデセンスって呼ぶべきか。とにかくそいつのボディーガードをやってた。今回はようやくあいつにもまともな就職先が見つかったみたいだし、やっと私も違うことができるってわけだ。とにかくこれからよろしくね。これがプロのお手並みってやつか。ここに来る前は製薬会社の警備員なんて忙しくないだろって思ってたし、もし受からなくても清掃員でもやればいいって考えてた。でも実のところ今はちょっと後悔してる。正直自分でもここまでやってこれると思わなかった。今までは何も考えてなかったけど、強くなったって実感できるのは悪くないね。ありがとうドクター。任務の時間。わかった。私がチームの指揮を。前処してみる。面倒事が起きなきゃいいんだけど。ああ、めんどいのが来た。準備はできてる。はあ、音楽が聴きたいな。まだ敵には気づかれてないみたい。 ここは視界良好だね。集中。こんにちは。そしてさよなら。こいつ服のセンスは悪くないな。数が多いな。うざ。ドクター、キャンディー食べる？少しリラックスした方がいいよ。私もちょっと疲れたかも。内漏らしはいないかもう一回確認してくるよ。ほどほどにしとく。わかった。これ以上面倒なことは私もごめんだし。ドクター、行こう。撤退ルートは確保してあるから。まずは周りの環境に慣れよう。おいドクター、なんか私に手伝ってほしいことある？アークナイツ。ドクター、キャンディー食べる？
Alright, and that will do it for today. And yes, she talks a lot about incandescence in her voice files, which is another big thing of, can we finally meet this person? What is going on here? Why are we not meeting this person? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video for today. Tomorrow we are gonna finally go into starting with the 3 Abyssal Hunters that we know so far. The actual 3. Starting with Gladia's full file and voice files. And then we're gonna move onto Skadi and plus Skadi Altar. And then hopefully on release day of Stultifera Navis, we're gonna finish off, post the video that should first come up that day about the polls. I hope those go good. With the full file on both Spectre and Spectre Altar. But this will be it for today. Like I said, hopefully everybody enjoyed this, and I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.